This is macOS Ken.
Analysts analyze the Shenzhen shutdown, Foxconn's firing up an infamous factory, and news of a surprise privacy fix for Apple Watch. It is Wednesday, the 16th of March, 2022. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from macOS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by SimpliSafe, the right way to protect your home inside and out, 24/7, 365. It all starts by you picking out the stuff you need to protect your home. Because who knows what you need better than you? With a comprehensive set of sensors and cameras, including the all-new wireless outdoor security camera, you always know what's going on inside and outside your home. Then you set it up. No strangers needed in your house. Getting SimpliSafe gear installed is so easy. I had my sensors, keypad, and base station up and running in well under an hour. Now, at the other end is the best professional monitoring in the business. Always ready to send out police, firefighters, or EMTs to your home as soon as they're needed, and all for less than $1 a day. You can customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplisafe.com/macOSKen. Go today and claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring. SIMPLI. Go to simplisafe.com/macOSKen. Apple analysts seem cautiously optimistic about Apple and iPhone production amidst the Shenzhen situation. We heard a few days ago that the government in China had put Shenzhen in lockdown due to a surge in COVID-19 infections in the region. A piece from Apple Insider said then that with the exception of companies supplying food, fuel, and essential goods or services, all businesses were ordered to close or implement work-from-home policies. It was expected that the lockdown would persist until the 20th of March at the earliest at that point. That meant that Foxconn had to shut down its production facilities in Shenzhen, which got Apple watchers wondering what that would mean for Apple. Now, a few Apple analysts have opined on the subject. Expressing the most concern is BofA analyst Wamsi Mohan. To be clear, he expresses concern, not worry. Seeking Alpha highlights his note on the issue. Basically, his level of concern rides on how long the lockdown persists. While most of Foxconn's iPhone production happens in Zhengzhou, Shenzhen is still a hub for a material part of the iPhone supply chain, according to the analyst. The way he sees it, Apple and Foxconn have the ability to relocate production to other areas in the short term, provided that there is not a significantly higher duration of lockdown. Mr. Mohan has a buy rating on Apple shares. His price target on the shares is $215. While Piper Sandler analyst Harsh Kumar and Evercore analyst Amit Daryanani are absolutely keeping eyes on the issue, theirs are not quite as jaundiced as our man Mohan's. Apple 3.0 ran excerpts of notes they wrote. Piper's Kumar points out that most of Foxconn's iPhone production happens in Zhengzhou, and Zhengzhou is not locked down. Plus, it's a slow time of year for iPhone demand, and besides, iPhone buyers will wait. Quoting his note, "We view iPhone demand as sticky, so consumers will wait to make their purchase until any supply impact is resolved. Overall, we do not see a significant impact to iPhone production or supply due to the current lockdown situation in China." Personally, I can't help wondering how wild a wild card the brand new iPhone SE might be. Yes, this time of year is usually a slow time for iPhone, but Apple's latest budget-friendly phone, announced just last week, has already seen wait time slip to the end of this month. At the same time, people making the move from Android to iPhone by way of iPhone SE, they don't really know iPhone yet and may not find it as worth the wait as people upgrading from an older version. For now, at least, Kumar is not concerned. He's got an overweight rating on Apple shares and a price target of $200. Now, saying basically the same things as Mr. Kumar, Evercore's Daryanani says most of the iPhone production happens in Zhengzhou, not Shenzhen, and slow time of year for iPhone demand. He's got an outperform rating on Apple shares and a price target of $210. Partly to tackle India and partly to diversify production, a famous Foxconn facility on the subcontinent will start iPhone 13 production next month. Famous, infamous, it's a fine line. Apple Insider says Apple's contract manufacturing partner Foxconn is set to start rolling iPhone 13s out of a factory near Chennai in India. What makes the facility infamous is the set of problems it had at the end of last year. Initially, it was thought the facility was hit with food poisoning that sent over 150 people to the hospital, with another 250 plus treated as outpatients. That led to protests over poor conditions, which closed a highway, which led to detainments and arrests. Then Apple looked into the conditions at the factory and, boy, were they bad. Apple's investigation found overcrowded living quarters, toilets with no running water, and, according to one village-level administrator, no safeguards to prevent COVID-19 infections. And did we forget the whole food poisoning thing? Apple put that plant on probation. Foxconn then undertook corrective measures and began slowly reopening the plant. Now, a couple of months later, they seem ready to go full bore. Citing a report from Business Standard, Apple Insider says Apple is expected to use the facility near Chennai to manufacture the iPhone 13 in April. The iPhones produced at the plant will be intended both for domestic sales in India and for export to other territories. If iPhone SE is too little for you, but iPhone 13 is too much, Apple's Refurbished store may have your answer. Cult of Mac says the Cupertino company has started selling iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro in its Refurbished store. 5G and MagSafe, so that's cool. Plus that sweet, sweet Pacific Blue if you go Pro. The piece also points out that buying a like-new iPhone from Apple gets buyers the same 12-month warranty that comes with iPhones that are actually new. Prices start at $619 for a 64GB iPhone 12, running up to $1,019 for a 512GB iPhone 12 Pro. Assuming they are there. Checking the Refurbished store Tuesday night, it looked like Apple had already sold through the 128GB iPhone 12s it had to sell. Such is the nature of the Refurbished store, though. Things come, things go. Worth noting, iPhone 12 mini and iPhone 12 Pro Max have not made it to the Refurbished store. Cult of Mac suspects those models will make the Refurbished scene in the not-too-distant future. Great news for this week's updates. It looks like the watchOS 8.5 update and the iOS 15.4 update fix an information leak tied to mail on Apple Watch. Last year, says a piece from Mac Rumors, it emerged that Apple's mail privacy protection feature was undermined by a lack of Apple Watch support. Basically, a researcher named Tommy Misk found out that if you had email activated on Apple Watch, the device was downloading all of the remote content associated with an email using a user's actual IP address, even if they had mail privacy protection turned on iPhone. That happened even if the user didn't open the email, basically undoing mail privacy protection. We actually talked a lot about this on an episode of The Checklist by Secure Mac, Checklist 256, a lack of mail privacy protection. At the time, the only way to keep mail privacy protections in place was by disabling mail notifications on Apple Watch. Now, though, Apple has very quietly fixed the issue. Mac Rumors had Mr. Misk, one of the guys who found the issue in the first place, posting about the fix. Yesterday on Twitter, he said, "Good news, as of iOS 15.4 and watchOS 8.5, the Mail app on the watch no longer leaks the IP address when downloading remote content. Remote content is blocked on the watch, even when Mail privacy protection is on." More news in a moment, but first a word from BetterHelp Online Therapy, sponsor of today's show. You know what's not easy? The merry-go-round of news. It's not really merry, though, is it? COVID-19, political unrest, social unrest, and hey, look who's back. There's COVID-19 again. If any or all of that has gotten to you, or if you just want to see what condition your condition is in, check out BetterHelp. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anybody on camera if you don't want to. You fill out a questionnaire, which is great for a couple of reasons. First, if you're like me, it helps you focus on what you want to work on. And second, it helps them find the right therapist for you. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp Online Therapy. Like I said before, this show is sponsored by BetterHelp, and macOS Ken listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/macOSKen. BetterHelp. That's betterhelp.com/macOSKen. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/macOSKen. And thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's show. Apple Pay has hit a couple of new countries after Apple teasing earlier in the year that the contactless payment service was coming soon to Argentina, Chile, and Peru. 9to5Mac says the service has gone live in 2 of those 3 countries. Citing a report from the Spanish language site Pga 9to5Mac says Apple has updated its Apple Pay availability page to add Argentina and Peru as the latest countries to bring the service to iPhone users. The site has 6 banks supporting Apple Pay in Argentina, along with 5 banks in Peru. Chile, meanwhile, is still hanging in Apple Pay limbo. Applications are open for Apple's second Impact Accelerator. Apple Insider says that's the program from the company that provides training to minority-owned businesses in the environmental sector. According to the report, the program is designed to support equity and opportunity in the environmental sector for Black, Hispanic, Latinx, and Indigenous-owned businesses on the cutting edge of green technology and clean energy, as well as combating systemic barriers to opportunity. Commenting on the initiative, Apple VP of Environment, Policy, and Social Initiatives Lisa Jackson was quoted as saying, "We cannot build a greener economy without building a more just one, where communities most impacted by environmental harms lead us toward solutions. Our Impact Accelerator models the approach we need, bringing bold, innovative, and diverse businesses together to speed progress to a carbon-neutral future." Proposals for the second accelerator are due in by the 30th of April. More information is available on Apple's site. Apple TV Plus has ordered its first all-Spanish language original series. The Cupertino streamer issued a press release Tuesday announcing the 10-episode medical drama Midnight Family, or Familia de Medianoche. Apologies if my pronunciation was off. Currently in production in Mexico City, the release says the new series will feature an entirely Hispanic cast and crew. The show follows an ambitious and gifted medical student by day who spends her nights saving lives throughout a sprawling, contrasted, and fascinating Mexico City aboard her family's privately owned ambulance. No word in the piece on when the series will hit Apple TV+. And finally today, news of 2 awards for Apple TV+, neither of which went to Ted Lasso nor Coda. iMore says early winners of the Producers Guild of America Awards have been announced ahead of the award ceremony on the 19th of March. Taking home awards: Carpool Karaoke, the series, and For All Mankind, kind of. Not kind of for Carpool Karaoke. iMore cites a Variety report saying the awards named the producing team for Carpool Karaoke, the series, Season 4, as winners of Outstanding Short-Form Program. As for All Mankind, the award wasn't for the show, but for an associated app. According to Variety, For All Mankind, Time Capsule was presented with the Pga Innovation Award, which celebrates outstanding entertainment endeavors across virtual reality, augmented reality, experiential, and other emerging media. It's a free app, it's a cool app, and now it's an award-winning app. You can grab For All Mankind Time Capsule in the App Store. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by SimpliSafe. Get a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring at simplysafe.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.